Well, it's also a huge night because it's a Free Comedy Friday, and Erik Griffin is in town, and he's performing at the American Comedy Company.
Wow.
I'm back again, y'all. How you doing?
Eric's our dog, man.
Yeah,
he is.
We've had Erik in.
Even though I heard a lot of racism in here.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Or saw a black man.
Yeah.
I said last segment that my wife saw. I meant to say guy in a black hat when she was sleeping,
We know what you
and
mean.
I said black man.
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
Sorry.
I saw from the glass. I saw the look on his face when he said it. He was like, "Oh my god!
What did I say?
Oh my god!" You know.
I'm surprised I didn't immediately get fired.
Yeah, we thought about it.
This will be one of these things they'll bring up. This will come. This will resurface.
Oh,
you know how they do
yeah.
that? His racism resurfaces 3 years later.
Yeah, that's so true.
When they do the Netflix documentary on Thor.
Yeah.
And then he said he saw a black man.
Yeah.
You know, dude, you just
talk
think
to Erik.
You just think about anything of the past. Like I feel like right now, like anybody that's been to a party ever, I'm just like, oof, make sure.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I feel like the manager of the local Walmart, he like quit. I was like, ooh, was he at a dating party?
Does he like freak offs?
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
How sucky is it though? Imagine like you're just at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
this guy was one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah.
Throwing parties all the
Throwing
time.
parties all the time. So you're just at a party.
Yeah.
You're just at a party, and then like 10 years later, you're like, ooh, I was at that party. I don't remember.
Yeah. All that baby oil.
Saran wrap?
Yeah.
Dude,
What's going on?
now you got to start walking around parties, just opening doors.
Yeah.
And just,
That's baby
anything
oil.
freaky going on in here?
So
goodness,
Erik,
man.
all four of us were, watching TV at different times.
Oh, here we go.
Then all of a sudden, we see a friend's face pop up.
We're like, what's Erik doing?
I know that dude. What's going on here? You're in a pretty huge commercial right now.
Yeah, I know. It's great, huh? You know,
Cha-ching.
that's what I'm saying. Anytime anybody sees that in your mind, you think, ching, ching.
Yeah, national commercial. Let's go.
Yeah, I remember I went to the audition and I was like, all right, this is like, okay, whatever. You know
just
what I
want
mean?
me to be the boss?
It was like, it
Because
was
it's
weird.
TurboTax, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird little audition, and I was like, okay. So then I got a call back immediately. You know what I mean? And so then I was like, all right, I go to the callback, and then like, you guys don't know how this works. This is the kind of inside baseball, but
Here
like,
we go.
You know what I mean? But
Inside
like
the actor's studio right now with Erik Griffin.
Oh, yes.
all the boring stuff.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so when you go to a casting, okay, so then like you're in front of the casting director, and usually, the director is there or they're remotely, and this director actually is remote, and actually the director is Neil Brennan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
way.
Okay.
So
Wait, should I know?
Comedian.
He was on
Chappelle
Creative
Show.
Chappelle Show.
Yeah, he's actually
Yeah.
been in studio before.
We've had him in
Sky.
studio.
Okay. Well,
Super
you know
funny.
what? You know I smoke a lot of pot. Okay, great.
So then, like the casting director will come out sometimes and tell the actors like that they're waiting. He'll be like, "Okay, guys, listen. You're doing this wrong. You know what I mean?
Neil wants more of like this vibe.
I didn't know it was him yet.
The director wants more of
exactly. And then they like usually casting directors are failed actors. So they want to come out and tell you how to act. You know what I mean?
Tell you what's funny.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, bro. So I usually ignore that, but then I really do. I just go, okay, I'm not even gonna listen to this guy.
Yeah.
But I hear him say, okay, so Adam Devine's gonna come out, and when I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna book this.
Okay, so you wanted that because of that.
No, because I knew it was like, I know why I'm there, because now they're going to get Workaholics for cheap.
Workaholics, yeah. Exactly. We got a little reunion there.
Yeah,
you
it's
two.
going to feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to get, I immediately, and then I didn't even know it was Neil, so when I walked in, he wasn't there. He was like zooming in.
Yeah.
And I heard, like, he was like on a speaker, so he goes like this, he goes, hey, Erik, it's Neil Brennan. So anyway, like that, and I was like, oh, wow. I said, this is weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I did it, and I got it, and it was a real fun shoot.
So did you just say you got to make some funny faces and do whatever?
Yeah, he said like do a certain thing. Then it was just like I was just like you just do you give him what you give him. You know what I mean?
Did Adam play a part in you getting this
No.
prestigious role?
He didn't prestigious. All right. The Hamlet of commercials.
I don't know what commercial award you should get, but I mean, you should be in there.
I do have the what the hell's going on face. That's my
That's
cool. Do you think this is going to be a reoccurring thing? Like, the farmers insurance guy.
Hey,
I mean,
I wish.
Yeah.
That's really you ever wonder why you see like remember the guy Mayhem?
The
Allstate guy.
The Allstate guy. Now, he used to be a pretty good actor.
Yeah, he was on Law and Order SVU a lot.
I think he was on Oz.
Yeah,
right. Like big shows.
That tells you how much money it is.
Oh, dude.
And to be a spokesperson.
Or like the
spokesperson?
Yeah, where he was just like, I'm good with acting.
Like the Verizon guy or the AT&T girl. Flo. Yeah, they must make ridiculous money.
I know Jake from State Farm. The new Jake from Kevin Miles. He's like, he made this. I know.
You know him.
Yeah. It's like a lot. I'm just saying, like, that's like that's the dream. That's
the dream.
But you have like a lot of dreams. You have your dream box,
right.
Your TV dinner dream box.
Sure.
And one of them has always been like, national spokesperson.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Spokesperson money. And back in you used to really make money back in the day, man. Like on commercials. It's not the same anymore because of like what they call new media and all this stuff. It used to be really, but just to give you a little taste, I was in a Christmas commercial one year. It was a Chevrolet Christmas commercial.
Okay.
And it went from like, let's say end of November to like mid-January.
Yeah.
After taxes, I think I made like $60,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
Just for that,
Just for
one
that
day of
little-
work,
If you don't mind me asking.
If you don't mind me asking.
Were you
That's
the guy
awesome.
that got the bow on the car?
No, that's Lexus December to remember.
No. You would have further one.
Bows on other cars?
This one was.
What was your role?
This one was Santa Claus comes in. Like this is like his off-year job or something like that. And I'm just standing there and I see him and I just go, Nick.
That was it.
That was it.
60 grand.
60 G's.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just letting you know that's just a little taste of like if you see some like every time I used to see that State Farm commercial of the original Jake from State Farm, every time I would see that, I just would shake my head because I was like, this guy must be making so much money. Because it went like, it was like 5, 6, 7 years, that same guy.
Yeah.
Like, what are you wearing? Like, pants?
That one, yeah.
Here's how commercials work, is after 13 weeks, they have to re-sign you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's like a run of the commercial, and then if they run it again, it's another set of money, so forth and so on, plus the residuals. So if something goes like I was in an iconic commercial that like I always blame Janet Jackson's boob for popping out why this commercial didn't get to go big, but it was a swear jar. You can look it up on YouTube. Okay. The swear jar, Bud Light swear jar. So it's like the commercial concept was a guy walks in and he sees a jar and he says to the lady, "What's this?" He goes, "Oh, it's a swear jar."
If you say some bad word, you gotta put money in.
And then the guy says, "Well, what are we going to do with this?" She says, "We'll probably buy some Bud Light." And then the guy immediately goes, "Blank, yeah." And that was the whole commercial. Yeah. So I remember I'm walking down I'm walking down the hallway. Then I go, "Blank, Bob," and he said, and then but that was like it never made it to air.
That would have been great too.
But what I'm saying is, it went right to the internet.
Oh yeah.
And at the time there was no deal for the internet.
Yeah.
So this sucker was everywhere. It won an Emmy. It won a commercial Emmy.
Oh, really?
It was people were coming up to me like, "Oh, they used that commercial in advertising class," and I was like, so I always think like, man, that would have been like $100,000 commercial. So
you would have been the new What's Up guys,
something like that.
Yeah, because that's like right after the What's Up guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That would have been great.
Janet Jackson ruined it.
And then they did a follow-up one called Clothing Drive.
Okay.
And this was just, again, strictly for the internet, Clothing Drive.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, this is like 15 years ago. Yeah. And then, like, the same thing. It was like, well, so everybody in the commercial's naked, so that didn't make it to air.
No.
Right?
A lot, Janet.
I know. But because the world went sort of like, soft. Right after that, they went soft.
Changed everything.
I don't know if you guys remember this Super Bowl commercial, but it was a Snickers commercial, and it was two, like, grizzly-looking manly men, and they're eating a Snickers, and they're eating it together.
Oh,
like Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then their lips touch, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, and then they start doing like overly manly things.
Yeah.
They only played that once.
Really?
Wow.
Because
because
the whatever, they were like, it was like, oh, I saw a black guy type of thing.
Okay, wait a minute. Eric, mean. I didn't. That's not what I was saying.
Who would say
That's not what I was saying.
We know those people.
Yeah.
Those people. So it was like, so it's like, the commercial world is like really crazy, but hey, listen, I'm trying to make, I got an 8-month-old son now.
You got people to feed.
I got people to feed. I moved to Santa Clarita.
The suburbs?
I bought a house with, I'm a suburban dad now.
This guy.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, do your neighbors, have you been recognized by any neighbors? Do people care in Santa Clarita?
I don't think they care, but I don't really care either. But it's like, and I live in like a gated community. It's like a new community.
Whoa.
So like the moms are walking around with their strollers, and they got us all in like a WhatsApp group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the next door app.
I love that. So we were always like sending messages. Like there was a fire truck one day, and I was like, "What's going on?" And everybody's like, "But I sent a message to everybody yesterday. I said, hey, look, let's look out for each other. I said, let's, if there's any issues, let's settle it between us first before we go to the HOA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those are the worst.
Smart.
And let's look out for our
But you know what's going to happen?
community.
You're going to get that one person
There's
that
always
eventually
one.
is going to be
Yeah.
like, I'm going right to the HOA.
Yeah, there's
Or
always
then
one.
somebody
There's always
gets
one.
on the.
Hey, your lawn. One of those people. So.
Yeah, you're looking at one right here.
Just saying,
Are you the
That's
local
her
community
dream.
Karen
That's
over
her
here?
dream.
Excuse me, my name is Sky, not Karen, and
Yes.
I'm just saying we all agreed to take care of our lawns.
Yeah.
You didn't have to sign the CC&R.
Oh my God! I'm sure you're super passive aggressive about it
she's
too.
so cool.
Hey Janet, your lawn.
You can't have that.
It's all, I saw a funny viral video about a guy he's in the Ring camera and he's got a tape measure and he's like, he goes up to the front porch and there's plants on the front porch and he was like measuring them like, these are over 16 inches.
Okay. Like if you got to worry about that, you got some
That's
bigger issues.
Derek,
here.
that's what she does.
Yeah, you're that
I don't.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes
Yes.
if you live next door and you don't take care of your
boy, here we go.
lawn, my mower may veer onto your lawn a little
to
bit.
Oof.
Yeah,
I
she's
mean-
that type of person.
Ooh.
I'm helping.
She's the type of person on
I'm helping.
Are you
on the
helping?
next door app who would say,
Oh,
I saw a
love
black person in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Let's look out for each other. She would be that person.
I
She
did
would
not
be that
say
person.
that.
And then she would comma. Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant black hat.
And it was clearly an accident. It was clearly an accident.
Go see Eric.
Yeah, racial accident.
Yeah, it happens. Slip of the tongue. Go see Eric, American Comedy Company. Couple shows tonight, couple shows tomorrow night. Great seeing you, Eric.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man.
coming
Good
in,
to see you guys.